Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Lindy Stamp Gang September Color Challenge. So I took two different colors. One of them is Cosmopolitan Pink and Cocklebill Corals, which is in the Starburst, to create the start of this layout. I am using a double thick white cardstock, and I like to use the double thick because it takes on the sprays really well. This is Teapot Purple from the Mad Hatter set and my Mojito Green, and I'm spraying them on the page, and I'm kind of really wanting them to pool so that I can kind of move the colors around and having them really mix. And what's so beautiful is once they're dry, they're just so super shimmery and in a two-tone effect. This is super heavy gesso, and I like to use it because it creates a little bit of dimension and not just washing it out. So I'm just grabbing one of my knives and spreading it out, as you can see. And then I am heating it with a heat gun. This is one of the lovely Prima stencils, and I'm grabbing some matte gel medium for a different type of effect. And I'm actually applying it fairly thin. And I know that it looks quite glossy on here, but when it's dry, because it's matte, it's not glossy at all. But when it's wet, it is fairly glossy. And you want to be careful with the gel. The gel tends to seep through the cracks of this stencil, so you really want to make sure that your stencil is really down. And it looks white until it dries. It dries completely clear. Then I'm going to take some Goldfinger. This is in the Antique Gold. And I'm going to start, once the gel is dry, you want to make sure you do dry with a heat gun. And then I'm just going around the edges of the stencil that I had put down with the gel. And you'll see it'll just pick up whatever raised edges are on there, which is really fun to do. And it's really not going to get on the rest of your page. And so the image of the stencil really starts to pop. Some places I'm doing it a little bit darker than others, just for the color variance. I don't want this to be a big feature on my layout, but I want it to be something that's quite defined at the same time. And then I'm going to take some super heavy gesso again, and I'm kind of creating a clouded effect, almost like where my photo is going to go, just to get a little clouded effect for a frame, and it tones it down significantly. And I did take my photo, this is off frame, and I did do the same thing to the edges with a little bit of gesso. This is Old Road by Prima, and it's one of the chalk inks, and I'm using one of the fabulous background stamps that I absolutely love. It's that splatter look. I think I use it on practically everything. And it's by Impression Obsession. And then I'm grabbing Black Coal, which is more of like a darker black, just for a little bit of a different tone, but the same stamp. So if you don't like to get your hands super dirty, then that's a good background stamp to use. Then I'm grabbing a script, again by Impression Obsession, and just applying a little bit of script. And as you notice, I roll my stamp versus just stamping straight, and it creates more of an uneven look, which is what I'm going for. And then I'm grabbing the exact same three sprays. This is my Mojito Green. I'm going to grab my Cocklebill Coral and a little bit of my Cosmo Pink and my Teapot Purple. Then I'm grabbing a Silver Gelato, and I just want to tone down a little bit of some of the gold pieces. And then the ones that actually didn't stand out, I'm going to have them pop out. And it just gives it a little bit of a color variance. And I love how the gelatos just blend with your fingers. And I'm not applying too much, just a little bit here and there. And those are the flowers that I've used. I used Jolie Quartz and Frosted Snowdrop Roses, as well as Baroque Blooms in the Plum. And then I did apply them with some Beacon adhesive, 3-in-1. And last but not least, I'm going to take one of my Unity Stamps stamp and taking Old Road and just stamping it for the last little bit. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the images in the end.